Good morning, everyone. This is Jason Coombs with the Christian Apologetics, boldly proclaiming Jesus. Today, I want to speak to you about something that is very close to our heart, and that's when our lives and our prayers aren't always answered the way we want them to. And today, it concerns our children, and our children, we love them very much. They are amazing God's children. They're created by Him, and they're amazing, and they've made a lot of progress. But today I want to speak to you about my two boys and what they have had to overcome and the challenges they've had. You can hear my oldest son in the background listening to his videos. The challenges they have had to deal with is autism. And my oldest son has never talked. He's never been able to say mommy or daddy or I love you. And those things are hard to handle. A lot of parents take these things for granted, and I hear people complain, and I understand, not complain so much, but to say, oh, my kid don't stop talking. And as a parent who's never heard his son talk, there are times that we're like, well, we would love to have that. But I understand when you're in the flow of things and your child or something is talking a lot, I understand. But the point is that a lot of people take these things for granted. Like, there's things I really can't teach my sons how to do. I can't take them out hunting. Fishing might be difficult. It could happen someday. Those type of things can happen, but at this point in time, I can't go throw a ball with him. There's just no interest in it. He can throw, and I suppose he can learn to catch, but there's just really no interest in that. And so my oldest son has never talked, but he's made a lot of progress. We have speech devices. He can spell. He can, because there's a spell feature on that he spells very well. And he can talk with that and let us know what he wants. And he can anyways. He's very good about letting us know in other ways what he wants and what he needs, which is great. But it wasn't always like this. There was a lot of struggle. We go to events and the places, and the sensory overload would be just too much. Like with autism, when they hear sounds and normal sounds that don't really bother us as much, it sounds like chalk on a chalkboard to them. And my oldest son very much struggled with that. There's still times where he does struggle with loud noises and things like that, but it's improved a lot. And back to those events, we would have to leave early a lot. We're under the impression that we'll leave when we have to, because it becomes a negative to him. It becomes something that is fearful. So we would leave when we had to, but we were under the mindset that we're going to try again next time. And church was very much like this for us. There were times where it would just be meltdowns right when the music started and things like that. But now he enjoys the music. He jumps and claps, and I believe he's praising. I believe he's praising God when he hears the music, and he's actually more into it than most in church, which is amazing to see because he loves it. And it just shows you what perseverance can do. And my youngest son, he doesn't struggle as much with noises, but he has his own struggles. He has some speech, but it's not conversational. I can't sit with him and ask him how his day is or talk to him about his favorite dinosaur. I know he loves those things, but it's not something that he'll answer to me on command right now. And I pray for one day that he does. But the whole point of this video is that some of our struggles are not what we envisioned, right? I can tell you, when I received the autism diagnosis of both sons, I broke down. I did not want that for them. Not that I love my sons, but the diagnosis is not something you set out and want, right? It's not something you set out and pray for. You would pray for, a child that's able to talk, a child that's able to do all those things, not for my own want or need. It's for them. Because there's a lot of worries that we as parents go through. Like, what's going to happen after my wife and I are gone? Who's going to be able to help them and take care of them? And we don't even know what the future holds. What's their level of independence going to be? Are they ever going to drive? Are they ever going to hold a job? Are they ever going to have a relationship? That's a big thing. Is the unpaid relationships. Are they going to have a friend? You know, those things are all the things that go through our minds that other parents may not really have to worry about. And I'm not sitting here and bemoaning myself or saying, oh, poor me, but I'm letting you know that sometimes life does not turn out the way we want it to, or we pray it to sometimes. And this brings up a verse that I want to speak to you today about. It's Romans 8:28. And this says, we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. And I want to break this verse down with you, because it's really important for us to understand. And that the first thing that really sticks out to me is all things. It doesn't say all good things. It doesn't say all good things happen to Christians, because Christians do go through struggles. Christians do go through things that cause them to break down and ask God, why? Why do my children have to go through this? Why do I have to go through this health diagnosis? Why do I have to have financial problems or relationship problems or things like that? Why? If I'm favored, if I'm your child, why do I have to go through those things? And it's important for us to understand that we live in a fallen world and we're still subject to these things. We're still subject to times when things don't go the way we want them to, right? If I had my way, my sons would not struggle with autism, but they do. And that's something that I have to take on and do my best with. And they do, and they have. Made a ton of progress. They're amazing boys. They're very smart. And it's taken some work to unlock that, but we're starting to see the fruits of that. So if I were to sit here and say, God, why, I wouldn't be anywhere. My boys wouldn't be anywhere, right? They are made for a reason, and they have this for a reason, and it may be due to a fallen world. I don't know. There's so many different diagnoses. You get so many opinions. You know, you hear Tylenol, you hear vaccines, you hear, genetics, you hear this, you hear that, but it doesn't really take away what it is. It doesn't get to the root of the problem. And I'm learning that a problem can become a solution. There is a solution to every problem. And that leads us to the next thing. It says, work together for good to them that love God. So when we take things, you hear my son in the background, he's watching his videos. When we take things and give them to God, when I say, God, I do not know how to handle this, but I know that you do. I know that you have a purpose behind this. And I'm going to give this perceived problem, and I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to love you, and I'm going to do my best to do what you want me to do through it. Because this cup was given to us. This cup was given to our children. And it's something that we can't take away. And we've prayed, God, if it's in your will, please help this. Please help them to overcome. And I can tell you that not everything is always healed. Not everything is always taken away. You can pray the most in the world, but if it's not in God's will, it won't be taken away. If it's not his purpose, it won't be taken away. And not everyone is healed. And when we tell people that, because we've heard, well, you need to pray about it. And I agree, prayer is powerful. Prayer is awesome. Prayer is our tool to speak to the Father. Prayer is our tool to petition the Father. But if it's not His will, it won't happen. And that's okay. I've learned to be okay with that. I've learned to say, well, God, you have not taken this cup from us. You have not taken this cup from my children. But we're going to do our best to drink it, right? To be able to be okay with it, to be satisfied. And I think we do a very good job with that. We kept trying when other people don't. A lot of people with autistic children do not go anywhere. They say it's too hard, and it is hard at first. Those times were very hard and stressful, not only on us, but our children. Those times were not easy, but we kept trying, and we did not give up. And we're seeing the fruits of our success, and I know in the future our sons will continue to progress. I have faith to know that. And it's not going to be taken away fully. I don't believe that. I believe God can. But I don't believe that's going to happen. And I pray every day that my son will talk someday. But we're giving them the tools if that does not happen. We're giving him the ability to be able to be independent if that does not happen. Because it could. There's autistic children that talk from 12 to 13. So I felt on you because I speak from experience. I speak from someone who knows that life does not turn out always the way you want, but that's okay. You can give it to God, and He'll call us according to His purpose. So today, if you are struggling with something that you just cannot fathom, it did not turn out the way you want, has brought you to your knees, I understand that. I have not only had my 2 sons with autism, but I've lost a son. I've said, God, why? Why does this happen? Why does this have to happen? Why can't things just be the way you picture them when you first start out? You start out thinking, what are you going to teach your children? And I still teach my children. It's just not the way I envisioned. And I have to learn to be okay with that. I have to give it to God. I have to love God. And I have to say, no matter what, I'm going to follow your plan even when I cannot see. I am going to parent to the best of my ability that you give, because you've given these children to me for a reason. I believe my background, my wife's background, we have background in working with adults with disabilities. We have background with working with children and things like that. My background was designed and called for a purpose so I could be the best father I could be to my children. And if I sat here and just was bitter and angry, what good would it do for my children? What example would I be setting for others? See, when we go through things, we have to still keep the joy of the Lord. We still have to know that His promises are true. We still have to understand that, yes, this did not turn out the way I wanted it to. No, it didn't. And that's okay. I've learned to accept that. I love my life. I love my children. I love seeing them happy. And the noise he's making right now is he's happy. He's watching his videos on YouTube, and he's happy. And I've learned to accept it. And people say, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. And I look at him and I think, well, it's all I've ever known. There's not anything wrong with this. And don't get me wrong, there's times where grief sets in and you grieve what you've lost, and you grieve what they've lost. When you see others of similar ages being able to teach their kids how to hunt, be able to do those things, it is hard sometimes. I'm not saying it's not a struggle. And I think sometimes people look at us and how well we handle it, because we handle this very well, our children. And they don't see the struggle that it goes in and the grief that comes sometimes. So I want you to know that there are times where things and your problems do get to you. But during those times, I've learned I need to pray. I need to give them to God and say, God, I'm having a hard time with this right now. I'm not able to handle this to the best of my ability, and I need your help. I need your guidance and direction. And that's okay. In those times, that's what God is there for. God is there for all our struggles and all our trials and all our times where we just think we can't do it. So today, if you're having something like this, it may not be dealing with, children with autism. It may not be that. It may be your own personal struggle, your own time when your own thing that is so hard to handle. I just want to speak to you today that just give it to God. He works all things for his purpose. All things that we give to God, all the times that we love God, even through our trials and our struggles, he will work them for his purpose if we give them to him. And I believe that and have been believing that, and we're seeing it. Our children are example. People see their happiness and put a smile on their face. People see what progress they've made if they've known them all their lives. And they see that you can work through your struggles. And I just want to speak to you today on that. And today I just want to pray for you. Dear Father, whoever's watching this video, whatever struggles they have, whatever it is personal to them. And there's no struggle that's too small. And you understand this. You know their struggles. You know their pain. You know the times where they cry out to you and ask why. I just ask that you give them a peace that goes beyond all understanding, and know that when we give things to you, all things, not just the good, when we give you the bad things as well and say, God, I know you can take care of this. I know you have a purpose, and I'm going to trust you through it. I just ask that you strengthen them and give them a comfort and give them a resilience to be able to go through this. In your precious name, amen. Again, this is Jason Kuntz with Christian Apologetics. I appreciate you watching this video, and I hope it's helped you to understand that our problems can point to God and we can give them to God. Just have a good day. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we're trying to grow this channel and to glorify God. And I just hope you have a good day, and God bless.